Alright. Here we go. Welcome back to another one now. I apologize to anyone who was in the first stream. Once again, my streaming software out to get me won't stop crashing. I don't know why, but we're here right away today. We're here in Orlando, Florida, Camping World Stadium with the Stadium Series here on the BeamNG circuit, which is the Destruction Series. 16 competitors looking to burn it down. Here are your point standings currently. I'm not going to say the points because there's so many of them. Just going to say the drivers and where they stand. So currently leading points is Tyler Menninga and Gravedigger. In second, John Zimmer Jr. Terminal Velocity. In third, Weston Anderson and Boghog and Tim Hall Jr. in Jurassic Attack. In fifth, Bari Musawwir Zombie. In sixth, Zach Garner and Wildside. In seventh, Camden Murphy, Classroom Crusher. In eighth, Ryan Anderson, Son of a Digger. In ninth, Jim Koehler and Avenger. In 10th, a three-way tie between Chris Koehler and Mayhem, Mike Paglia, Rulo and Excalibur, and John Gordon and Bad Company. In 13th, Blake Granger, Monster Mutt Dalmatian. 14th, Cole Stevens, Thunder Roris. 15th, Cole Vennard and the Black Pearl. And currently in last, Bryce Kenny and the Tech Tech Rec Tech. Now, if you want to know specific points as far as what the drivers have, check the description. All of that information is posted down there. So, with all that being said, we're just going to get started here because if my streaming software crashes again, I don't want to have to redo the whole event. Now, because Tech Tech Rec Tech is up here, I'm going to just adjust the volume really quick so you can actually hear the truck because these trucks are a lot quieter than the rest of the field. Alright, I was trying to solve some lag issues, and ironically, that's what made this stream crash last time, so I'm going to hope we don't have any more of that. Right off the bat, I'm already seeing some of that lag is coming back, but hopefully it will kind of resolve itself here. Bryce Kenny has not even started his racing pass, and that truck is already wanting to tip over. This is what I was just talking about with Bryce, is this truck is very unstable, very unsteady. It's been hurting him really bad in points this year. And for a second, it looked like it was going to again, if he couldn't even do a pass. But he's ready to go here in timed racing. First pass of the night, Bryce Kenny, Tech Tech Rec Tech. Alright, Bryce getting started here in his pass right off the bat. He's looking pretty good here, not tipping it over quite yet. Oh, but see, there was that issue. He had to correct his steering so that he didn't flip over. Caused him to oversteer, and that's going to hurt his time. And he's going to flip over anyway. Oh, a cool save, but it's not going to help him. I mean, the issue still stands. Bryce Kenny just can't get a good pass on the board for the life of him. And that time tonight, on a track that really shouldn't take... Look at that. He's flipping it over once again. Truck is going to come back around somehow. Like I was saying right there, though, that thing is so unstable. We see that that problem come back again. His time is a 27.68. That track really shouldn't take more than 20 seconds at all, I don't think. I mean, maybe up to like 23 seconds, but even that feels like a stretch to me. I don't know. Unfortunately, Bryce Kenny just can't really figure it out this year. He's had that bad luck, and I guess just unfortunate truck going for him all year long. He can't figure it out, which is weird because all the other drivers with that chassis have been able to figure it out, but Bryce has not been one of them. That Tech Tech Rec Tech truck might just be a little bit cursed for him. I'm not too sure. But coming up next to the track, the only pirate you'll ever see in a monster truck. Please welcome Cole Vennard and the Black Pearl. Cole Vennard, of course, no stranger to this. He's been doing this for over a decade. One of the longest running competitors in the field. Look at that, he even got Adam Anderson on the back. That's a callback to his 2022 body. Looks like he felt like bringing that thing back out today in Orlando. And the ironic part is Adam isn't even on this tour. Adam's on the Speedway Series this year because he couldn't get it done in the postseason, and all it costed him. So he couldn't make the Destruction Series. Cole Vennard said, you know what, I'll clown on you for that. And he's getting ready for his pass. Time to beat's not a super bad one, or sorry, not a super good one, so it shouldn't be too bad here for Cole to try to top it, but he's going to have to at least not flip over. If he can just at least do that, he'll probably get a better time. And right off the bat, we're seeing a lot cleaner of a pass. This is kind of what I was expecting on this track. It didn't seem like all that complicated of a track, but Cole Vennard going to get a little bit too hyped up in the turn. And it's going to cost him. Now he's in a predicament because he can't really cross the line like that. He's going to actually hit it in reverse. A very unconventional move for the Black Pearl. Unfortunately, though, Cole Vennard just was not getting it done tonight. He was really well for a while, but that truck got hiked up just like Bryce's truck has been doing all year long. That time's going to be a 26.10, so it's going to still be enough for him to move on, but unfortunately, to take the lead, but unfortunately, it's just not a good time. I mean, we don't really know what a good time is yet, but I think it's safe to say that a run that required him to fully save it and go into reverse is probably not all that good of a pass, but I don't know, maybe that's just my take. Koehler, your new leader, but not by a huge margin right there. Going for an unconventional racing pass and finish to try and still get it done. Coming up next, please welcome Colt Stevens, Thunder Roris. Like Cole Vennard, Colt Stevens has really been struggling this year. Maybe tonight he can figure his things out, but he's sitting in the bottom 3 right now, and if I know anything about sitting in the bottom 3, it probably won't get you a World Finals invite this summer, so Colt really needs to try to get out of that hole he's dug himself into. Let's see if he can do it. A lot of it's going to start here at this racing pass because every point on a series like this counts. Unfortunately, it's already not looking like a great pass for Colt Stevens. These drivers are all struggling in Orlando. I don't know if it's the dirt or just not being able to figure out that track style, but Colt Stevens had a bit of a rough pass here. He did a pretty good job at adapting, though, and that time is going to be a 20.12, so proving my point that we really shouldn't be seeing times above a 26. I think that's really unnecessary, and even with an unclean pass, Colt Stevens is still able to put down a 20.12, so if a half-decent at best pass is a 20, then I want to see what an actually good fast pass looks like. These drivers just aren't managing to pull that off. But maybe this next one will be able to get it done. I don't know. Because up next to the track, please welcome Blake Granger, Monster Mutt Dalmatian. Blake Granger, of course, like many drivers I talk about here, no stranger to being fast out there. However, it's not really showing for him this year. He did get the fastest time in World Finals 24 qualifying, but so far we're not seeing any of that happening here on the BeamNG circuit. Let's see what he can go for. I don't know what happened there. Hopefully the stream looks alright. Unfortunately, Blake Granger is going to have a huge mistake. He's got to try to make up for this now. Again, I don't know what happened right there. My whole screen kind of bugged out for a second. If it looks bad in the stream, I might just have to rerun this pass. I don't know what's gotten into Blake Granger. I mean, I know I was saying he's not necessarily the fastest racer, but this is still crazy. He's actually going to now have the worst time because he had to back up and readjust 2 different times in that pass. Monster Mutt Dalmatian's time, 28.86. That is now the worst time of the night. He didn't even roll over. He just was slow. I don't know how else to say it. These drivers are not fast today, which is weird because a lot of them really should be with how much experience they've had on the BeamNG circuit. In any case, no. Oh, well, that was part of the issue. I couldn't shift because I was stuck in the typing bar, and I think that might be what crashed my streaming software earlier. Anyhow, coming up next to the track, making his Monster Jam full-time return this year. Well, semi-full-time. Here on the BeamNG circuit, it is full-time. It's John Gordon and the Bad Company. John Gordon, of course, very experienced in a monster truck. He's been a fan favorite for many years because he knows how to get it done. Now, he's going to opt for this far lane, which is interesting because we haven't seen a ton of luck out of it, but the current leader, Colt Stevens, did run in this lane, so maybe that's what John Gordon is looking at when coming into this run. I mean, neither lane has really seen that much luck. These drivers are all really not that good tonight. John Gordon breaking that streak so far, though. He's off to a perfect start here. That truck is doing a good job at not hiking up. All the other trucks were getting up off the ground. I spoke too soon. Something is definitely up with the dirt here in Orlando. We have seen too many drivers roll it over like that. Unfortunately, John Gordon runs out of room. I'm assuming he could have gone in for the save there, but he was really close to the wall, and it was definitely a wild ride that shook him up a little bit. So, no save or save attempt there for the bad company, and John Gordon ends up on the lid with no time, and that's going to really be a problem for him because the highest score he could get tonight, the highest amount of points from racing he can get tonight, probably won't be more than 3, and that's if 2 more drivers DNF. There's just not any scenario where John Gordon comes out of racing ahead, and that's what's really going to hurt him here. Coming up next, not really a racer, but we'll see how he does. He's been doing pretty okay on the BeamNG circuit. It's Mike Pagliarulo, Excalibur. These drivers are really going to have to try and... Oh, my apologies. Something just started lagging out here. I got to adjust one thing really quick. Sorry, fans. Alright. Sorry. We're back and ready to go here. Like I was saying, this track has really been an issue for all these drivers. I think it's the dirt because the drivers weren't flipping over like this in LA on the same track style. It just looks like that dirt is really tacky and it's causing all these drivers to roll over. We needed some drivers to actually just stay on all fours for a pass at this point, and that would be enough to do it. Mike already is going to oversteer. I don't know what's going on with these drivers. This is really unusual, but because of that oversteer, he missed one of the turn pods. That's going to be a 5-second penalty for the Excalibur. Mike still goes in, does finish his pass. His time with no penalty is a 22.48. With penalty, that's a 27.48, which isn't even last place. In fact, that's 2 spots out of last place. No one is fast tonight. And that's still really strange for me. I feel like a lot of these drivers have been good at racing in the past. Maybe not Mike, but still, I feel like there's such an odd shortage of, you know, fast passes tonight that we don't usually see. We'll see if that changes here. I mean, we're only 6 passes in. That means there's 10 more to go, but so far, the trend is looking like this track is going to be a difficult one, probably all night long. Coming up next, though, Chris Koehler, Mayhem. Now, Chris has one of the best racing records here on the BeamNG circuit there is to have. I mean, he has been super fast before and actually got both the fastest LCQ times on the circuit last year. So we'll see what he can do here. Getting started with his pass. Right off the bat, he's staying nice, flat on the ground. That's what's been hurting all these drivers. Chris Koehler's keeping it low down to the ground, not getting hiked up, but he's going to oversteer too. A lot of drivers making that same mistake. He's still going to come in with a lot of speed here to finish out the pass, but that time for the Mayhem only going to be a 22.36. So Chris Koehler is going to be another victim to this really, really tough track that we're seeing tonight. And again, I find it strange. A lot of drivers haven't had a rough time in racing the rest of the year, but all of a sudden this dirt just isn't letting it happen. I have to assume it's the dirt because last time this track ran, there were no issues at all. I will say... Uh-oh. Hold on. Things are going to get really laggy here for a second. I made a slight error. Alright. Alright, here we go. What was I just saying? Oh yeah, the first show didn't have any of this issues. So I really don't think it's that the drivers can't be fast on this track. It's that it's something about Orlando specifically that's causing the issue. However, Chris Koehler, despite that big mess up, still going to be sitting in second right now, which goes to show how weird of a racing competition this has been. Jim Koehler and Avengers up next. Alright, let's see what he can do. Jim has been getting really fast the last few years. We'll see if we can see some of that same success here in this pass. Right off the bat, we're seeing a better pass than most others have started with. Now, I think one thing with both Jim and Chris that will benefit both of them, although not entirely Chris as we've seen, is their trucks are heavier, they stay lower to the ground, they don't flip over, and it's going to help Jim Koehler and Avenger big time because his time is an 18.75. Jim Koehler is the first driver to go sub 20, and in fact, he's going to go sub 19 as well. And he's also going to prove my point completely correct in that those trucks, those heavier trucks the Team Scream has, are really helping out. They stay low to the ground, they don't flip over. And that's the thing that's been getting all the other drivers is their trucks don't want to stay on all fours. Well, Team Scream is going to break that curse here, and it's going great for them now. So we'll see how that is impacted as this night goes on. But starting things off here for Jim Koehler, it's looking very good. He's already secured himself a good 9 points at least coming out of timed racing. And there's no saying that that number won't go up. Coming up next to the track, celebrating 15 years of one of the most iconic Monster Jam trucks of all time, Ryan Anderson, son of a digger. Now, although Ryan is really one of the best in the business, he's currently sitting a few spots out of first place, which is kind of rare for him. But he's just been having a lot of trouble this year. Like many drivers on this series, he's just been a little bit more consistent than some others, as he is still sitting in the top 8. He's just got to keep trying to get higher up in points, especially when he's representing such a big milestone in his career this season. I will say he's off to a nice start in that first turn. That first turn's gotten a few drivers. Ryan's not going to be one of them. Let's see what he can do here. One more turn. This one caught John Gordon earlier when he was going to get the fastest pass. Well, it's not going to catch Ryan. It is at the end, but is it going to catch him enough? I don't know if this is first place or not. I'm going to have to actually take a look at the times. Let's see, that time to beat was Jim Koehler. It was an 18.75. Ryan has an 18.32, so he is now going to be your leader. So Ryan making his way towards some more much-needed points on the year, and that's great news for Ryan. I mean, he needs every point he can get, and that's a good way to get some. Now, coming up next, this driver has actually gone undefeated in this competition this season. Can he make it 3 for 3? Well, there's only one way to find out. Coming up next, Camden Murphy, Classroom Crusher. So that's right, I was just saying there, Camden Murphy undefeated on the series. We'll see if he can keep that up. A lot of it's going to come down to this pass here. Well, obviously, he's trying to go undefeated. Everything's going to come down to this pass and keeping that streak. Let's see what he can do. Oh, man. Sounds like it's time for some water. I'm trying to yodel out here. All right, Camden Murphy. Let's see what he can do. He's going to have to just about go sub 18 to take the lead, but you never know. He's been wicked fast all year long. And it is going to be the end of that streak, unless he somehow pulls off like a teleportation miracle. Camden Murphy in the Classroom Crusher is going to make his first crucial racing mistake of the year, and that is going to cost him 3 wins in a row. He's going to flip over just like Bryce did, as they are driving that same new chassis style, but Camden is not going to be as lucky. He will not finish his pass, and that's huge news for points. Camden has been doing fairly well in points, going undefeated in racing. Well, now he's actually going to end up holding the last place spot in racing. And I don't know. He was sitting 7th coming into this show. While getting basically no points in the competition is certainly going to hurt him. And that sucks for him because, like I was saying, it has been a great year for Camden up to this point, and he was one of the few drivers to really be having good luck with that new chassis. Looks like that streak ends today. Alright, well, coming up next, one of the fastest independent drivers in the circuit. He made it to the racing finals, the World Finals Racing Finals 2 years in a row. Let's see if he can do that in the BeamNG circuit later this year. It's Zach Garner, Wildside. Obviously, we still are a few months out from the World Finals, but the road starts here and now, so Zach Garner in the wild side. Let's see what he can get done. We've seen some great passes, but I really think if anyone's going to be able to do it tonight, it's going to be Zach. He has a good reputation here in Florida, and I think this track is really going to work out for him. I don't know. So far, this is looking like the fastest and cleanest pass yet. He's taking a lot of speed to the end, and it will be. So all that talking up for Zach Garner I was doing coming into this pass looks like I was correct. That time is an 18.02. Zach Garner, nearly the first driver to take it under 18 seconds. That was spectacular by Zach Garner. He is now in the top spot, and there are very few drivers left to try to knock him out. So this is really going to be huge for the points chase for Zach. If he gets some good sum of points here in racing. Welcome back, Isaac. Good to have you at another stream. Coming up next, Bari Musawwir, Zombie. Bari did not run on the Destruction Series previously. This is, I believe, his first time ever. He might have been on the 2024, but I don't think he was. I feel like this is Bari's first Destruction Series. I know last year he was on the Speedway Series, I want to say. So, a lot of big opportunities for Bari, and so far it's going well. He sits 5th on the series, which is not bad at all, although it's certainly not first, and I know that's where he wants to be. So we'll see what he can do here. He's getting staged. He's getting ready. Let's see if he can dethrone Zach Garner. Bari's off to a nice start. He's going to oversteer that first turn. It hasn't taken him out yet, but it's going to slow him down no matter what. He's going to have to be practically perfect in this last turn, but he is. Can he do it? He's taking a lot of speed. Oh, man. He's going to get a big save here as well, maybe. Oh, no big save for the Zombie. Bari Musawwir goes crazy at the end. That time, an 18.45. It won't get him the top spot. It will put him at a nice 3rd place, though, which is going to just continue his points earnings. I don't know. I mean, he's been doing a good job with points so far, and it looks like that's going to keep on going. So, Bari Musawwir, one step closer to possibly becoming a series leader. Now, this next driver's in an interesting position because this is his first ever stadium series, and he's only done one stadium event coming into the Destruction Series this year. That was Glendale, so we'll see what he can do. He's coming off of a nice skills win at the last event. Please welcome Tim Hall Jr., Jurassic Attack. Alright, so as this competition's progressed, we've started to see some actually good times getting on the board. We'll see if Tim Hall Jr. can make himself one of those. It would be great for points as he is sitting in 3rd place right now. Technically 4th, but it is a tie, so let's see what he can do here. Alright, a nice start for the Jurassic Attack. He's definitely on the right route here. Let's see what he can do. One more straightaway to go. Wow, that was perfect. Is it going to be enough? Big speed. It will be enough. Tim Hall Jr., the Jurassic Attack, will be the first driver to go sub 18. That time, a 17.85. Your new leader is Tim Hall Jr. That's huge news for the Jurassic Attack. Like I've been saying, every point counts, and taking the lead with only 3 more drivers left is definitely going to be a good way to get some good points. And, I mean, sorry. Every time my game lags out, I get nervous because I don't want my streaming software to crash again. Anyway, like I was just saying, when you're sitting that high up in points, even if you're not winning, every single point is still going to be a big deal because it's about consistency at this point. It's not about winning. You just have to stay consistent. More so than others. You know, you can win competitions and still be sitting at the bottom. You just got to stay consistent and you'll be staying at the top. Tim Hall Jr. has been doing that this year. Alright, well, only 3 drivers left to try to knock him out. Coming up next, Weston Anderson and the Bog Hog. Alright, so Weston, one of 3 drivers that could possibly make this happen. If it's not going to be Tim Hall Jr. Tim Hall Jr.'s big thing was that last turn. he started to almost roll it, but he actually went into that. You know, he actually kind of turned into it, and it actually allowed him to get into the last turn wicked fast. So maybe if these next drivers can take that into mind, it can help them out. Looks like Weston does take that into mind, looking very good in this last turn. Big speed for the Bog Hog, and it will be enough. Weston Anderson, that time, a 17.75. The new fastest time. Weston Anderson takes the lead. So this has been an exponential growth in times. These drivers started so bad at the start and are now getting so much faster. I do think part of that maybe is that the track might be starting to set in. You know, at the start of the night, the dirt is still, you know, kind of in a weird spot. You know, it's just been watered, but at the same time, it's been there a while, and no one's ran on it. The dirt's in a weird place. It was really tacky. Now that all these drivers have come in, the dirt might be starting to take shape, and I think that's what's letting these later on passes be a lot faster than the first few. But on that note, only 2 drivers left. Oh, hold on. Something odd going on here. One second here. Gonna have to send out that track crew. Figure out why the truck is doing that. That's very weird. Haven't had that issue before. But we are good to go now. So, anyway, like I was saying here. Alright, this is weird. I don't know why the truck is doing this. I have to move him all the way onto the dirt by hand, it looks like. Anyway. Something is going on weird with those BKTs. I don't know what's going on with them. But, oh my gosh. Oh my goodness. Alright, now we are ready to go. Jeez, okay. Coming up, second to last here in timed racing. He was your first overall event champion, and he was a series leader for a moment, but he lost that lead after the event in Arlington, where he just didn't have the best of luck. Now he has to try to put himself back into that top spot. It's John Zimmer Jr., Terminal Velocity. Let's see what he can do. Now, like many other drivers tonight, he has less stadium experience, and that is going to hurt him. He's going to go way too tight in that first turn, and now this is going to really hurt him in that overall points chase I was just talking about, or sorry, the series points specifically. He really needed good points tonight. A big mess up like that is not going to help him. He's also going to have to straighten out right there. So terminal velocity, that time tonight is going to be a 24.48 for the terminal velocity, which is not good at all. Again, 24.48. John Zimmer Jr. needed as many points as possible coming out of this competition, and he just got almost the least amount of points possible. And I mean, we'll see how that affects him as time goes on, but that's just not good for the terminal velocity. Alright. We got one more driver to go here in timed racing. Let's see what he can do. Your current series points leader. Looking to get another big win on the bracket here. Tyler Menninga and Gravedigger. Tyler has been consistent enough this year to be in the top spot, although I wouldn't say this is the competition that's done it for him. But we'll see what he can still do in it tonight regardless. A lot of things going on in these racing passes. Let's see if Tyler can figure out the best medium between them all. Alright, so Tyler gets started here. He's going to avoid the berm, entirely. That has worked out for other drivers. He said, well, it'll probably work out for me too. It does. He's got one more turn left. He's going to take it a little bit wide. Let's see if he can do it. Huge speed. Oh, man. Will it be enough? As you know, that time... Whoa. Gets a little crazy as well. That time to beat tonight has been a 17.75. Tyler's going to put down a 17.99, which means Weston Anderson takes home the timed racing win. That means he's going 2 in a row with wins. He won the last competition on the series, which was freestyle. Now he's going to win racing, so that is 2 competitions in a row for Weston, which is going to show that he might really be looking for that series lead in this event. That's a great, great thing for him. Now I am very quickly going through all these other times we saw to try and see how the overall points are looking, and specifically how the series standings are looking, because it's going to be interesting here. We saw a lot of drivers do good that have otherwise been doing bad, and a lot of the vice versa. Some drivers have had their worst event yet so far, and John Zimmer Jr., unfortunately, is going to be one of them after having an otherwise really great first stadium series. Again, very quickly throwing together the series standings right now. Things are definitely looking interesting, though. So Tyler now has 81 points. John Zimmer Jr. has 70. Weston has 77, closes in on Tyler, who now only has a 4-point lead. Also, Tim Hall Jr. is 76, so he's also very close. Bari has 71. Zach has also 71. Camden only 57 after that unfortunate last place for him. Ryan goes up to 64. Jim Koehler up to 59. Chris Koehler up to 52. Mike Pagliarulo 49. John Gordon 46. Blake Ranger 45. Colt Stevens up to 46. Cole Vennard up to 41. And Bryce Kenny at 38. Still in last place. Here's the interesting part. John Zimmer Jr. just fell from second on the series all the way to 6th. That is huge news for John Zimmer Jr. He's now got a lot of work to do to try to make up all those super valuable points that he should have gotten out of racing that he didn't. So we'll see what he can do. But on that note, we're going to move into that next competition tonight. Of course, that Monster Jam Skills Challenge. Drivers will have 2 attempts. Sorry, that's the old rule. Drivers will have 1 attempt or 2 attempts at that 1 attempt to do the best 2-wheel move that they can. So the criteria is they only really get to do 1 move, but if they really mess up badly on the first attempt, they can go out there and give it 1 more try. So, coming up first, the driver who just lost his racing streak. Let's see if he can get some more luck going for him. Please welcome Camden Murphy, Classroom Crusher. So Camden off to a very rough start tonight. That tacky dirt got the best of him, which is interesting because the rest of the year he's been getting the best of the tracks. He's been really doing good. But tonight, so far, that is not the storyline for the Classroom Crusher. Let's see if he can try and make some of that up right here. Alright, he's going in for his move. It is successful at this point, so whatever happens, happens for Camden. This is his only pass he's going to be getting here. Alright, he's going to walk it down that pod, so that's pretty cool. Shows some good balance right there. Goes up and he goes over. He's going to need a big save here. This Classroom Crusher truck been having a really rough event so far. And unfortunately for Camden, the bad luck continues. He rolls it over. Doesn't land his one and only move. And I mean, I don't know. It might have looked cool, but I don't think that's going to help him out. I think that's going to hurt him in the points chase more than anything, because you need to be successful here. And Camden is not going to be successful. So, if you want to do some fan scoring, that window for that will be open here. But if not, it's going to be an expert scoring thing. Welcome to the stream. I see you here, Braden French. Let me in the chat actually put fan scoring is open. Just so that everyone knows, because sometimes I don't say it and the new people don't know. But yeah, you can do fan scoring here, so if anyone wants to put in a score for the Classroom Crusher, can go ahead and do that. No score to beat. That was the first run of the night, setting the bar. Alright, that scoring window is now going to close. Now, there is some stream delay, so this might not be right at the time you're seeing this, but from my perspective right now, there's no fan score. This is going to be a fully expert score. That score for the Classroom Crusher is a 7.921. 7.921, kicking things off, Camden Murphy and the Classroom Crusher. Coming up next, please welcome John Gordon, Bad Company. Well, Bad Company's been off to a bad start tonight. Got a DNF in the very first, well, obviously the only competition you could get a DNF. In timed racing, John Gordon would put down a DNF. That's really going to hurt him here on the overall point standings tonight, but let's see if he can make some points up right here. Goes in for a bicycle. It looks like he's going to land it. He's trying to get some sort of combo out of it. He's not going to do it, so that's going to do it there for John Gordon and Bad Company. Went in for a bicycle. Didn't really get anything too much out of it, though. It was a nice bicycle. It was cool how it twisted around like that, but did you guys want to see a little bit more from him? Make sure to keep that in mind when you're scoring John Gordon and the Bad Company. That score to beat is a 7.921 for the Classroom Crusher. Let's get some scores locked in. The score to beat still at 7.921. Again, 7.921 for the Classroom Crusher. Let's see some scores come in here. Alright, no fan scores. So, that score for the Bad Company is a 7.590. Enough for second place. Coming up next, please welcome Blake Granger, Monster Mutt Dalmatian. Man, if any driver can really own this competition, I gotta say it's Blake Granger and the Monster Mutt Dalmatian. Let's see what he can do. Let's see, here he's coming up top of that ramp. Getting staged, getting ready to go. Pops it up. Nice start for Blake Granger. Goes in for a combo, couldn't quite get what he was looking for. He's going to make it work, though. He's getting sideways here. And he's going to show his true talent right there. Pulls off a great save. That's going to do it for Blake Granger, Monster Mutt Dalmatian. Get your fan scores locked in. So let's see those scores. Of course, score to beat still belongs to the Classroom Crusher with that 7.921. Now, a very nice job by Blake Granger there. I'd say he's very good at being able to get that truck to balance. So, even the combination there just went to show how precise you can be in a less than ideal situation. The truck started to go sideways. Well, he was able to save it, get everything to work out for him. And let's see how that's going to turn out. So, scores are coming in. Let's see. Fan scores are coming in pretty high here. So, that fan score for Blake Granger is a 9.4. Experts are going to give him an 8.5. So, Monster Mutt Dalmatian, an 8.95. Again, an 8.95. So, your new leader is Blake Granger. Monster Mutt Dalmatian, an 8.95. 8.50. Coming up next to the track, we have one of the up-and-coming drivers. Well, I shouldn't say up-and-coming drivers, but he's in a new up-and-coming identity this year is what I should be saying. Now, it's looking like a bit of a surfboard right now after a rough crash in timed racing. Please welcome to the track, Bryce Kenny, Tech Deck Rec Deck. Now, Bryce certainly isn't bad in this competition, but he has not been the strongest of all drivers either. So we'll see what he can do in this competition. Let's see, putting it into reverse here. Looks like he's eyeing the Morgan & Morgan backflip ramp, so we haven't seen this done yet tonight. Maybe we won't see it done yet, or sorry, we won't see it done again. Bryce Kenny, he's really been getting good at this move over the last couple of years. And he is looking perfect on the setup here. Beautifully walking this truck. Okay. He's going to have to correct that little mistake right there. Nice job. So Bryce Kenny here. He's no stranger to being able to balance the truck. There, he's going to go in for something special. Oh, no. Bryce Kenny and the Tech Deck Rec Deck goes in for a combination, but he slaps it down so hard that those drive shafts just died. I've never seen that happen. He went for the slap moonwalk, and he threw the truck down so hard that the drive shafts both just completely shattered. That was crazy. We have not seen something like that yet all season long. Very interesting for Bryce Kenny. Unfortunately, that chassis just isn't working for him, and we are seeing that continue on tonight. Alright, score to beat is an 8.950 for Blake Granger, Monster Mutt Dalmatian. Let's see, we got some scores coming in. Fan scores an 8.45. Experts are going to give that an 8. So that score for the Rec Deck, an 8.225. That's only going to be enough for second place. Again, an 8.225 for the Tech Deck Rec Deck. Coming up next, please welcome Mike Pagliarulo, Excalibur. Mike, although certainly not a bad driver in this competition, it's not always the craziest one either. So let's see, maybe consistency will be key tonight. He's just going to have to find something that he can make happen. So let's see, he's searching that track. And it looks like he's going to be eyeing that center pod. Let's see what he can do here. It looks like he is going to be going for that center pod. Gets onto those front two tires. Very nicely done. He's going to very quickly go in for that slap moonwalk attempt. It's not going to work. He tries to get a combination out of it. But unfortunately, for the Excalibur, it is not going to work out. This is the... It's not a chassis. It's the normal CRD, but it's a specific... it's a specific mod with a bunch of independents, and I don't remember what it's called. But the chassis runs so nice. Unfortunately for Mike Pagliarulo, though, it's not going to run so nice tonight, as that's his full pass. Alright, so that score to beat is that 8.950 for the Monster Mutt Dalmatian. Excalibur tries to do it, couldn't quite. Fan score is going to come in at a 5. Experts are going to give him... Oh, sorry, we actually have a couple fan scores here. Fan score will come in at a 6.35. Experts will give him a 6.25. So that score tonight is a 6.300 for Mike Pagliarulo and the Excalibur. Currently going to put him in 5th place, which is also last place at this point in time. Coming up next, the Pirate of Monster Jam. Please welcome Colvin Ard and the Black Pearl. Now, this really isn't Cole's competition, So I'm interested to see what he goes for here. He's always trying something a little different when he's in this competition. Sometimes it pays off, other times not as much. So we'll see how it goes tonight for Colvinard and the Black Pearl. Alright, let's see. Setting up on that jammer, it looks like. Okay, might go in for a slap wheelie here. No, he's actually rolling past the jammer. Not sure what he's doing here. Oh, he's going in for the reverse popper. This is really Colvinard's move that he likes to do. Oh, what the heck? Okay, so Colvinard, he's going to get a little bit crazy out here tonight. I don't know if that was intentional. It looked like he was just trying to keep that wheelie going forward, but he ended up catching the jammer on his way going forward, and it actually knocked that truck forward into a big save. So, very interesting there for the Black Pearl. Sorry, I was a little distracted here. But yeah, interesting for the Black Pearl. It wasn't the craziest thing we've ever seen, but I wouldn't say it's the worst thing either. Get those scores locked. So far, we have yet to see a super complete run. I say the closest one is Blake Granger, but even then, he was a little bit messy in that run. So let's see here. Scoring is locked. Fan scores an 8.87. Experts are going to give that an 8.25. Colvinard, an 8.560. Currently enough for second place, 8.560 for Colvinard and the Black Pearl. Coming up next, please welcome John Zimmer Jr., Terminal Velocity. I don't know what's up with this truck. It keeps doing this. We're going to have to very quickly adjust that once again. Alright. Please welcome John Zimmer Jr., Terminal Velocity. John Zimmer Jr., no stranger to this competition. He is a stranger to stadium competition, though. So let's see what he goes for here. He's going to have to find something new to really wow us, but not sure what that can be. Although if anyone's going to be able to find something to do, it's got to be him. So let's see what he goes for here. Looks like he's going for that same setup as Excalibur went for earlier. And he's going to go in for it. So very nicely done by the Terminal Velocity. Except he's got a much more stable run going. He also hasn't tried to do a slap moonwalk yet like Excalibur did. So I'm sure that's also helping him stay a little bit cleaner here. But I mean, John Zimmer Jr., they don't call him the combo king for nothing. He can always find a way to combo the truck. Even on a really flat course like this. And he's going to do it once again. Oh man, this might not be a normal John Zimmer Jr. combination though. He's going to get a little bit ragged edge. End up with a little bit of an interesting save. And he's going to end up on that racing roller to end it off. Yeah, so far we only have seen one bicycle. That was John Gordon in the Bad Company. But the scores were not too high for that because, well, it was kind of just a normal bicycle, set it down. You know the drill. Alright, so get those scores in. Score to beat, still that 8.950 from Monster Mutt Dalmatian. Alright. Experts are going to give Terminal Velocity an 8.5. Whoops. Fans, an 8.1. So Terminal Velocity, an 8.300. Currently enough for third place for John Zimmer Jr. So he's not getting those big points he needs to try not to fall in points. Unfortunately, bad luck continues on. Coming up next, Chris Koehler, Mayhem. So from one iconic second-generation driver to the next, Chris Koehler and the Mayhem. is now coming out here. Now, Chris, he can do everything in this competition. One of very few drivers that I can confidently say is capable of pulling off any skills move. Let's see what move he chooses to attempt tonight. This is a very tricky course when it comes to this competition. There's ramps literally everywhere, so it's going to make setting up for really any move harder, but let's see what he goes for here regardless. He definitely will go for something here. Alright, looks like he's going for that bicycle. From one side to the other, back onto all fours. Okay, let's hear it for Chris Koehler and Mayhem. So, the interesting thing to me there is that I didn't feel like I was seeing a lot of skill. It looks like he just rolled, gave a little bit of gas that was just enough for it to end up rolling again. I don't know. That's my perspective, trying to be like an expert about it, but it definitely was an exciting move. I just think, was it the craziest thing we've seen yet? I don't know. Actually, I don't think so. But you never know. Let's see those scores. Keep in mind that score to beat still the 8.950 from Monster Mutt Dalmatian. Alright, experts are going to give that an 8.25. Fans are going to give it an 8.9. That score for the Mayhem, an 8.575. That's going to put him up in second place. So nice for Chris Koehler. Getting some good points here, 8.575. Very valuable points there, putting him up in second place. It's also going to knock down Covenard and the Black Pearl down to third. Coming up next, Colt Stevens, Thunderoris. Now, Colt, I wouldn't say he can't do moves in this competition. He's just not the most balanced. So let's see what he can do here. I'm not going to say he can't do anything, but he's definitely not as controlled and refined as a lot of these other competitors. So let's see what he can do here. Colt Stevens, Thunderoris. Alright, he's spinning that truck around. He might actually be eyeing that little, I don't know what to call a ramp like this. It's not a pod, but certainly not a roller or something like an FMX ramp. But he's going to go for it anyway. Alright, nice start here for the Thunderoris. And there we are seeing exactly what I was just talking about. He's not the most refined, but he is still going to get a cool combination. He knows how to do a wheelie at least. Oh, man. Nice save for Colt Stevens. Thunderoris, that's going to do it. So interesting there. He got a combination that I definitely don't think was entirely intentional, but it was cool that he was still able to catch it, had the peace of mind to walk it back. All very well done by the Thunderoris and Colt Stevens. That score to beat still belongs to Monster Mutt Dalmatian. Let's see that score for the Thunderoris. Again, get those scores in. Make sure to get those scores in as fast as possible because we do have all of Freestyle still yet to come. Alright. Fan score is an 8.34. Expert score is going to be an 8.25. So Colt Stevens an 8.295. That's not going to put him in the top spot. Let's see, that is... That's fourth place. Yeah, that's going to put him in fourth place. Not bad at all for Colt Stevens. He's finally getting a good event. He's been having such a bad year. But between timed racing not doing too great, timed racing tonight actually doing not great, and also now putting down a pretty solid score in skills, Colt Stevens might finally be having the night he's been looking for all season long. Jim Koehler and Avengers up next. Jim's kind of a wild horse in this competition. You don't know what he's going to do. He just goes out there and does it. So let's see what he goes for here. Jim Koehler, a very interesting driver. He has certainly been getting better at a lot of things, so that's something to keep in mind here. Alright, he's going to go in for the bicycle tonight. He saw this from his son not too long ago. Still trying to save it, but unfortunately, whoa. Anyone want an outside view? Unfortunately for Jim Koehler, that was just not going to come back around. He just couldn't get the grab he needed. So all of a sudden, that tacky dirt we saw earlier is nowhere to be found. And Jim Koehler, an Avenger, ends up on the lid. That's unfortunate. That was really a good opportunity for him to start catching up in points, but it is what it is. You can't win them all. That score to beat still belongs to Blake Granger. He's been doing it all night. I don't know how he's been holding off for this long, but he's been doing it somehow. He's still on that top spot. Alright, that scoring window is closed. Fans are going to give Jim Koehler a 7.29. Experts give him a 7.25. So that score for the Avenger is 7.270. It's not going to get it done for Jim Koehler. Alright, coming up next. Now this run, I guess you could say, will be a little bit thrilling. Please welcome Bari Musawwir, Zombie. Bari, very experienced in a Monster Jam truck. Like many in this lineup, he has been doing this for well over a decade. In fact, he's not so far off from 2 by now. That's a stretch, but also not really. He has been doing this for a very long time. Bari, super experienced behind the wheel of a monster truck, which also means I have some big expectations from him. And that includes his competition, which really isn't his star thing. Let's see what he can do in the Zombie. Looks like he's going for that jammer, but he's kind of lining up for it funky. Let's see what he goes for here. Alright, nice lap wheelie. Oh, man! Goes in for a crazy save. I don't know how that happened. That was pure gravity right there. He didn't even, like... I'd say about 80% of that save wasn't even driver input. It was just gravity doing its thing for Bari. He is going to break a tie rod, but I'm pretty confident they could fix that up before that next competition. What a weird, crazy, but also awesome move for Bari Musawwir. And that's going to help him get some of those points that I'm sure he's looking for in this competition. Very nicely done by the Zombie. That score to beat is still an 8.950 by Blake Granger. Alright, let's see those scores here. Don't forget to put your scores in. Alright, experts are going to give that an 8.75. From the fans, it's an 8.931. That score for Zombie, an 8.841. That's going to be enough for second place. A great spot for Bari Musawwir. Going to secure him some more big points. Coming up next, celebrating 15 years of one of the best monster trucks in the industry, Ryan Anderson, son of a digger. Now Ryan, I mean, this is his competition. He is the reason this competition exists today. The founder of the Moonwalk. Let's see what he can make happen here in Orlando, Florida. I had to make sure that shifter's looking right. I was having a little bit of trouble for a second there. And gotta make sure this is fair for all competitors, including Ryan Anderson. Let's see what he can do. He very much has the opportunity to become that new leader. Uh-oh. Looks like we might be running into some steering issues here. No, okay, we're good to go. Ryan Anderson. Oh. Hold on. Oh, man, I don't know what's going on. Everything's having a heart attack right now. Let's see what Ryan Anderson can do. Now he's ready to go. Sorry. That was a little interesting break right there. Goes in for the bicycle. Tries to pop it up into a moonwalk. Oh. Hold on. We're going to have to wait a second here. Technically, that was a successful bicycle. I'm watching back the footage right now to see if Ryan will get a second attempt or not. Looking like a no. Alright, yes, that is going to do it for Ryan Anderson. There will not be a second attempt here because that truck did get all the way up on 2 wheels. And that's just not going to be able to do it for Ryan Anderson. So, or sorry, that's not going to allow for a second hit for Ryan Anderson. That's going to do it for the son of a digger. Unfortunately, I know you fans wanted to see a second move. I would have loved to see it too, but we got to play fair here. I mean, if someone like Mike Pagliarulo doesn't get a second try, then Ryan probably shouldn't either because he did still mess it up a little bit there. But don't worry, Ryan's not done. He has a freestyle run and encore to put on. So if you're a Ryan Anderson fan, don't give up now. You're going to be seeing some more Ryan Anderson in not too long. Alright, well, let's see those scores. Fan scores a 7.41. Experts going to give him a 7.5. That score for Ryan Anderson, a 7.455. Not close to enough for the top spot. We only have 4 drivers remaining. Coming up next, please welcome Zach Garner, Wild Side. Let's see what Zach can do. I'm liking these 1-2 shifts that he's doing, just, I guess, for fun. I don't know why else he'd be doing that. Now, Zach is really good at this competition, but he's kind of a mixed bag. Sometimes he gets really good scores, sometimes his scores are really mediocre. Your racing winner was Weston Anderson, so he's going to be closing the competition. By the way, that's going to be fun to watch, right? Weston Anderson closing skills. I can't wait to see that. Alright, Zach Garner in the wild side getting started here on this maneuver. He's starting to lose it really fast, though, and now he's on the berm, so this is going to be really hard for him to control. He's doing a great job, though, so Zach Garner making sure to keep this move going, even though it's really not how I would assume he wants it to be right now. That's what you love to see. I mean, he's making it work regardless of all these different inconvenient factors. This is spectacular stuff for Zach Garner. Look at this. He's completely turned the truck around on the pod at this point. He's just walking that moonwalk for as long as that truck will balance for. That is great for Zach Garner. Goes in for a combo. Not going to be able to get the combination, but still a nice hit overall for Zach Garner. He really was all around right there. He had a few opportunities to get a combo, but he chose to stay cool, calm, and collected and show off his skill in that way. And I think it went pretty well for him. It's not going to be the craziest move yet, but it was definitely the most balanced, and I think that deserves some good recognition. That score to beat, still an 8.950 for Monster Mutt Dalmatian after all this time. Let's get those scores in for that awesome run for Zach Garner, showing off what true truck control looks like. All those different elevations and angles that he had to stay balanced on, he made it happen. All right, fan scores an 8.623. Expert scores an 8.75. So the score for Zach Garner, Wild Side, is an 8.687. Not going to put him in that top spot. 8.687. I think that is third place, though, which is not bad for Zach. It's just not going to get him as many points as he probably would want towards that overall chase. Coming up next, please welcome Tyler Menninga, Gravedigger. Alright, well, if there's anyone in this lineup that's a big threat to this competition, it's this guy right here. Tyler will do any and everything he can to take home a win in this competition, and he is so balanced. It's crazy. Let's see what he can do here. Alright, we're seeing that balance right away. Going on to a perfect nose wheelie. Moonwalk combination. Tyler is leading the point series right now, but only by 4 points. So every point he can get tonight is going to count. And I think that's something he's going to keep in mind here. Already putting down a very nice combination. Oh, look at that. He is just on the wheelie. He is waving to the fans with those front 2 tires. This is great stuff. Now he's turning the rear steer as well. Back onto those front 2 tires. Tyler is doing it all. This is great. This is what it's going to take to really take out Blake Granger tonight. Tyler knew it was going to take a lot, and he is delivering. I mean, at this point, he could just set this down and probably take the lead, but he's not doing that. He's still looking to make more happen. That does go to show he is a very, very competitive driver, trying to make sure there is no chance of anyone beating him. And that's going to do it. Let's hear it for Tyler Menninga, using every inch of that floor space he could to walk that truck on those front 2 BKT tires. And he had that wheelie combination in the middle. That was perfect. I mean, picture perfect for Tyler. I can't even say anything else. That was a perfect run overall. I don't have any critiques or anything. It was all controlled, balanced. Had the wow factor with the combinations. That was great. That score to beat is that 8.950 for the Monster Mutt Dalmatian. So let's see if that's going to be enough. Experts are going to give Tyler a 9.25. Fans an 8.793. So that score a 9.022. Your new leader, Tyler Menninga, Gravedigger. Now, this is great for Tyler. Last season, he had a really bad year, and I think he ended like 13th in the points chase, which is really odd for him. This year, he's leading points, and he's doing amazing in this event, already getting a lot of progress towards a potential overall event win. Coming up next, please welcome Tim Hall Jr., Jurassic Attack. Yeah, I'll get back to that question momentarily. Tim Hall Jr. coming up next. Now, Tim Hall Jr., he won. Whoa, my voice. Oh, God, I need more water. Oh, jeez. Okay. Tim Hall Jr., he won this competition at the last event in Arlington. Will he be able to go 2 in a row? Well, if he can, that will be massive news towards the points chase for Tim Hall Jr. Let's see what he can do. Oh, he's already starting to lose this move, though. He's got to be careful. He has so many points in this in this event already that he really should be making sure to get a good score in this competition to get something more towards the series and overall points chase. That would really help him out. Oh, he's really taking up every inch of that floor. He's got to be careful here. And that's going to do it for Tim Hall Jr. It didn't look like he wanted to be done yet, but he was really running out of floor space, and he made the smart decision to set it down while he still could. You always want to make it the safer decision than potentially hit the wall, because if he had gone into the wall, that would have been a 5-point deduction, which would have hurt him even more. So, smart play by Tim Hall Jr. and the Jurassic Attack. Alright. Gonna put a quick link right here. Never mind, I can't fit the link. Hold on. Anyone watching this back is going to be very confused. Alright. Alright. Let's see. Experts will give Tim Hall Jr. an 8.25. Fans an 8.14. So that score an 8.195. Unfortunately, Tim Hall Jr.'s great start to the night is going to be doled down a little bit by a relatively unsuccessful run right there. On that note, we only have one driver left to go in this competition, but it just so happens that he was your racing winner. He's looking to go 2 for 2. Let's see if he can do it. Up last, please welcome Weston Anderson and the Bog Hog. So Weston he's in a huge position right now to potentially get some super valuable points. But let's see if he can make it happen. I don't know. Looks like he's going to go for that center obstacle. This has been the most reliable one tonight. Alright, hold on. We're going to let Weston have a second attempt there because he couldn't get the pop he was looking for. Weston Anderson and the Bog Hog will get a second go because he couldn't pop the truck up. Alright, he's going to very nicely adjust on the second hit here. So Weston, he's taking advantage of the fact that he gets that second move. And now he is doing a very nice job at making sure to keep this truck balanced. Look at this. Great work by Weston. Oh no! Let's hear it for Weston Anderson and the Bog Hog. Well, unfortunately, that great start to the night all crumbles down. He goes in for that hit, got the second chance, but he's not going to get what he needs from the second chance because that truck is going to go straight up and over. So, tough break there for Weston. I mean, I know he really wanted to do something better than that. It was really crucial to the points chase, but won't be able to win them all, so tough break for the Bog Hog. Now, 1 second here. Something very odd going on. Okay. There we go. Alright, so we're now going to be heading into Monster Jam Freestyle, but first, we got to get that score for Weston. Let's see. Scores coming in. That score from the fans for Weston Anderson is a 9.035. Experts are going to give him an 8. So that score for the Bog Hog, an 8.518. 8.518. Not enough for that top spot. Alright, so we're very quickly here, we're going to go into a little bit of an intermission. So we're going to take a quick break. You guys are going to hear some music. I just got to count up the points and prepare for freestyle. We'll be right back. Alright, thank you everybody for being patient here. We got all those scores in here. So, your series leader, as we know, Tyler, Menninga, and Gravedigger, he now has 97 points. In second place, Weston Anderson is at 87. So now Tyler has a 10-point lead. Weston has a lot of work to do in Monster Jam Freestyle if he wants to move into that top spot. In third place now is Bari Musawwir with 85. In fourth place now is Zach Garner with 84. In fifth now is Tim Hall Jr. And in sixth is John Zimmer Jr., who has fallen down pretty far. So with all that being said, it's time to move into Monster Jam Freestyle. Now, if you're new here, the order in Freestyle is based on series standings. So we would be, is based on, overall event standings is what I meant to say there. So we would be seeing Bryce Kenny. No, we wouldn't. Never mind. I'm just completely wrong. Coming up first here is not going to be Bryce Kenny, but that's good because they still need a lot of time in the pits to try and fix up that truck after it broke super bad in skills. Broke 2 drive shafts. That's a crazy rare thing to happen. Anyhow, we're going to get into freestyle here. So all drivers will have 2 minutes to do the best things they can to try to wow the judges and the fans. Drivers have to fill at least 30 seconds to qualify for a score. If they cannot do that, they get a 0. That's about it. The order in freestyle, like I said, will be based on overall event standings. We've had 3 drivers get only 6 points tonight. So those 3 drivers are going to be the ones kicking off this competition. So with all that being said, I think it's about time for Monster Jam Freestyle. I hope you fans agree, because it's time to get things started. Coming up first to the track, please welcome John Gordon, Bad Company. John Gordon, of course, a huge fan favorite. Let's see what he can do. 2 minutes all to himself and that big Monster Jam floor in Camping World Stadium. Now this track is pretty tricky for freestyle. It's kind of hard to find your flow and find your places to really get the air and the momentum to keep it up. I mean, it's weird, but John Gordon gets started here in the Bad Company. Now it also is tricky because this track here in Camping World Stadium is a lot more open than SoFi Stadium, which was the other place we saw this track style. So it's a lot harder to try to land your transfers and stuff like that too. John Gordon, he's off to a nice start here in freestyle. My biggest critique, I think, with this track is that it just feels very flat. John Gordon, nice air. It feels very flat, so unless those ramps get really steepened for freestyle, I just feel like freestyle's missing something. But John Gordon's making it work here, even with that smaller track, and he's doing a great job here in freestyle. In only 40 seconds, already making it feel like a complete run. And the other thing is, with 16 different drivers, it's going to become a story of how are you going to set yourself apart from the others. I mean, it's really hard to do on a track like this, but John Gordon's off to a spectacular start here. And he's going to try to get technical. That's what you love to see. Might be turning it around for some good air. Yes, he is. Not too vertical off that ramp, though. It was more just distance than anything. Let's see what he goes for here. Looks like he might be eyeing the Morgan & Morgan mini flip. Yes, he is. Or the 8-pack, I guess I should say. He's going to go for it. Land it. Nice. And he's going to get a walk the plank off of a little tiny 8-pack. That was awesome. Remind me a lot of this World Finals freestyle in 2022. Nice air as well. So making those little ramps get some big outcomes. He's only got about 15 seconds left, though. What can he do? So far, this has been a okay run, but nice air. This might be the big move for him. Oh, he's going to need a big save right here. Backflip ramp's going to catch him up, but gravity kicks him back around anyway. There was no way he was going to save that if gravity didn't kick him back, but the truck just hit the backflip ramp, bounced back on all fours, and that's going to do it for John Gordon, kicking off freestyle with a bang. That was a great run to get the night started. Very nicely done by John Gordon and the Bad Company. So get those scores locked in. There's no score to beat John Gordon setting the bar tonight with that first freestyle run. If there are no fan scores, it'll go to the experts. I'd say that was a good run, but I could see a lot of places where things could be improved going forward. So let's see. All right, no fan scores coming in. That score tonight for John Gordon and the Bad Company is going to be an 8.692, kicking off the competition. A good score, not super high considering he had that cool save, but I just think there was a little bit of a lack of momentum in there, and I guess the expert judge is going to agree on that point. Coming up next, one of the best freestylers in the game right now, Mike Pagliarulo, Excalibur. There's a reason Mike is a fan favorite right now, and it is because of this competition. He always is able to get one of the craziest moves of the night on the board without fail. So let's see what he can do here. Get started with some nice air, a little bit risky, but you know what? That's what it's all about here in Monster Jam Freestyle. As Mike Pagliarulo gets us started. Not gets us started, but he gets his run started, I should say. Oh, sorry, there was a delay on that timer there. That timer's going to be about 15 seconds behind for the duration of this run because it did not start at the right time for some reason. So, at 15 seconds on that timer, the run will be done. Finally, some nice air tonight. I've been waiting to see that. I mean, John Gordon had some good longevity, but I want to see vertical. Mike Pagliarulo delivering that right there. Oh, nice. Goes in for a little bit of a combo as well. Maybe learned a little bit from Tom Mentz for that one. Now we're starting to see a little bit of that flow issue I was talking about. It's kind of hard to keep a good run going for a long period of time because it's just so hard to find those obstacles to hit at any given moment. But he's doing a good job at keeping his speed up, and I think that's pretty valuable in Monster Jam Freestyle. There we go, the biggest send of the night. This turn back around. What else can he do? He's got about half the time left to go. 50 seconds left. Let's see what Mike can do. Oh, man. More good air. Oh, he's going to need a little bit of a save here. Oh, he's still going to need a save. And gravity is going to help him out. That truck naturally is going to flip itself back around onto all fours. So Mike Pagliarulo now already in a great position to be able to get some good points here if he can put a nice end to this run. Let's see what he can do. He's got about 15 seconds left to go. What can he go for here? More good air. Oh, he's going to get a nose pick. No way. 2 weeks in a row. Maybe. Ah. Not going to be able to get it back. We almost just saw a nose pick backflip 2 weeks in a row. Mike Pagliarulo landed hard. That truck almost kicked itself back over. But unfortunately, it's not going to be able to happen like it did for Weston. Still a great freestyle run overall by Mike Pagliarulo. That's what we've been needing to see. A nice, complete, and chaotic freestyle run. Alright, so if there's any fan scores to come in here, go ahead and get those scores locked in. Sorry, I'm trying to answer a question in chat right now, but I'm having a hard time finding it. anyhow. Yeah, it was a nice freestyle. I apologize. I cannot find the pack anywhere. Anyway, score to beat. 8.692 for John Gordon. Bad Company, that score for Excalibur is an 8.851. Your new leader is Mike Pagliarulo. Very nicely done for Mike. He's finally maybe starting to get some good points after a very rough event that he's been having. But we'll have to wait and see if it'll be enough. Coming up next to the track, his racing streak was broken today, so I expect him to be driving with a vengeance. Please welcome Camden Murphy and the Classroom Crusher. So Camden has not had the start to this event that he's wanted. My apologies. I'm going to quickly turn up that truck because it's way quieter than the others. All right. Oh, no! All right. That's okay. Truck didn't flip. He's just going to now have to go out there and do this. Camden Murphy, Classroom Crusher. He's ready to get started. And he does get started with some spectacular air. Some of the best of the night. He's got to be careful. Evidently, this dirt is really tacky and almost flipped him over. So he's got to be careful about that because he really needs good points right now. And he's really not getting good points right now. Nice, so goes in for a technical move. That's a good way to spice up your run a little bit. Another good way is to get a crazy save. I'm not sure if he's going to be able to. No, he will not. That's going to do it for Camden Murphy. Classroom Crusher. He's not going to be able to get it done. So unfortunately for Camden Murphy, he gives it his best effort. But at some point, that truck just gave up, dumped it over, and that's going to do it. Alright, so score to beat, 8.851 for Mike Pagliarulo and the Excalibur. That score for Classroom Crusher is going to be a 5.816. It's currently going to be enough for third place, but that's also currently last place. So let's see here. Coming up next, oh boy, okay, here's a run to be excited for. Coming up next, a freestyle world champion, not just once, but twice. Will he be able to get it done tonight in Orlando as well? Well, that is the question. Coming up next to the track, please welcome a legend behind the wheel, Jim Koehler, and Avenger, or whatever's left of the Avenger body after his crazy skills run earlier today. Jim Koehler coming up to the track. Actually, he's coming out of the pits. It looks like there's nothing left of that body. So, Jim Koehler and the Avenger here. Oh, I'm sorry. That truck is way too loud. Jim Koehler and the Avenger coming out here for freestyle. He is one of the most notorious drivers in this competition. Gets started right away with some good air, showing off why he is such a critically acclaimed freestyler. Man, Jim Koehler is so fun to watch in this competition. I mean, it's not to say he's never not fun to watch. Jim Koehler is always fun to see out on the track, but he's off to a extra great start here in freestyle tonight. Only 20 seconds in, he's already got some of the biggest sends of the event so far. And he is not stopping that streak. So, Jim Koehler in the Avenger, I mean, he's never afraid to go out there and hit some things in ways that no one else will. And that's what I'm loving to see here. Off to a nice start. Okay. Nicely done. Goes in for some great air. So Jim Koehler, he's really trying to get all those different factors into this run. Great air there as well. Oh, man. Nice. So Jim Koehler in the Avenger getting nice and ragged edge out there. Might be Morgan and Morgan backflip time. Yes, it is. Lands a little bit hard on the rear, but that truck holds up just fine. So let's see what he can do here. Oh, wow. Some of these bounces that these drivers are getting are really, really interesting looking. Let's see what else Jim Koehler can throw into this freestyle. Looks like he's trying to put in some cross threads now. That's a good way to get some good wow moments out of your freestyle. He's really trying to get a good cross thread going. This might be the one. Oh, man. That was a hard crash for Jim Koehler. He's going to leave 3 seconds unfilled. It looked like maybe he could have saved that, but a few fans couldn't tell. That front steering went out right there on that hard landing, so there was just no coming back from that. That score to beat tonight belongs to the Excalibur with an 8.851. And that score tonight for Jim Koehler and the Avenger is... it's going to be an 8.481. Only enough for third place. Well, we're 4 drivers in, 12 drivers to go. But this next driver has been having a really rough season. But actually, this event, he's finally actually been able to get some good points on the board. So let's see if he can keep that going. It's Bryce Kenny and the Tech Deck Rec Deck. Sorry, gonna have to turn him up as well. That new chassis has still been giving him a lot of trouble, and we saw that persist tonight. But if he can at least put down a good freestyle run, that can really help him out in the points. So let's see what he can do. Oh no! Or oh yeah, I don't know. Great air. It looks like a risky landing, but he's actually still in one piece. I was for sure expecting at least a tie rod to break right there, but Tech Deck Rec Deck is still going just fine. This might not be just fine, though. Yeah, that's tough for Bryce Kenny. Oh, well, the timer never started, but I can assure you, fans, that was not a 30-second freestyle. So Bryce Kenny's bad luck continues on. It's a shame, man. He came out here really looking to put down something after what was really his only decent event of the year thus far. But it just really isn't his year, I don't think. And that truck just hasn't been great for him at all. I mean, every time he's driven that truck, it's just given him a lot of trouble. And I guess that's persisting today in Orlando, Florida. All right, well, coming up next, he was your first overall event winner and series leader. Fell to second after the last event, but now is all the way down in 6th. Let's see if he can make up some ground. John Zimmer Jr., Terminal Velocity. All right, fans, we're actually going to send John Zimmer Jr. back into the pits. Whatever issue was happening before happened once again, and he got a flat tire right there. That's not fair, though. I mean, that was nothing to do with the run. We're going to send him back into the pits, let him fix up that tire, because, unfortunately, just not going to be his night, it looks like. Alright. My apologies, just had to answer a few questions there. But we're ready to get back into the action. We're going to send John Zimmer Jr. back into the pits, let him fix up that truck. And that means coming up next, one of the best to ever do it, celebrating 15 years of his own creation, Ryan Anderson and the son of a digger. Well, Ryan is no stranger to getting it done in a monster jam truck. Huge air! That is easily the biggest air we've seen all night, and he somehow avoided slamming directly into those dumpsters super hard. I mean, I think he still bumps them, but he could have hit them a lot harder than that. What on earth just happened? The clock is paused. I don't know what happened right there. We're going to see if he can refire. It looks like there's no truck issue, so he's going to be able to fire that thing back up and complete the other rest of his run. I was expecting at least an axle to be broken. It looks like not even that. That truck is perfectly okay. After that huge, huge wreck right there. So Ryan Anderson, he's on a roll right now, trying to represent that big anniversary with a good run. And I'll say he's off to a great start with that. That body's just hanging on for dear life, trying to last through this run. Oh my gosh, Ryan is going crazy right now. Another big save? Yes, it is. This is unreal stuff. Oh! Maybe the highest jump yet. He's going up and over again. This is insane. I mean, this feels like we're watching 2014 Ryan Anderson. You can tell he's pumped up for this big anniversary season. Goes in for the moonwalk, couldn't quite get it. But now he's just got 30 seconds to turn loose in this run as if he hasn't already. So let's see what he can do here. Oh, man. Oh, up and over. And that's going to do it for the son of a digger. He kept going after a few rollovers, but that was too hard of a cage hit. The run's going to end there, but he only had 4 seconds left on the clock. All right, well, we're going to take a quick minute break here to prepare for that next competitor and get your fan scores locked in. Alright, we're back. That score to beat is an 8.851 for Mike Pagliarulo at Excalibur. That score for Ryan Anderson, son of a digger, is a 9.571. Your new leader is Ryan Anderson. Huge there for Ryan. You know, he's been having a bit of a slow start to this season, and with it being such a big anniversary year, I'm sure he's wanted to do a little bit better than he has been. But putting down a massive score like that is a great way to do it. Ryan Anderson has now set the bar for about 11 more competitors to have to just go crazy out there. Sorry, there's 10 drivers still left to go, but still, that's a large number of people and freestyles that are on the way. And Ryan just really turned up the wick for all of them. Now all these drivers have to live up to that. Sorry, I was checking something in the audio to make sure that these trucks have not been really loud this whole time. Cole Vennard is up next. Let's see what he can do. A lot of drivers are opting to start with full sends. I love that we're seeing that. Although Cole Vennard's not one to really shy away from some good air. So, not surprised, but very pleased by the air we are seeing to kick off all these freestyles. Look at the wheelie as well. So, Cole Vennard going in for these crazy moves early on in the run. Alright, already starting to lose that hood a little bit. Oh, he's in an awkward situation here. That's going to slow him down a lot, but unfortunately, he kind of slid into a bad spot right there. Now he's really got to find something here to pick the pace back up. Whoa! He's getting a little risky out there. That's what you like to see, though. Oh, that ramp got in his way, and it's going to send him up, over, onto a big save. No. It looked like he was going to save it. I think he turned the wrong way. It looked like he was turning to try to get a grab and be able to save it, but the tires just were not turning the right way for that. So it was either an error or just he wasn't even trying to do that at all. But either way, Corey Rummel... Nope. Either way, Cole Vennard and the Black Pearl has brought his night to an end. So, I don't know. It was a good run, but it was definitely really short-lived compared to what you'd want to see. The score to beat, 9.571. That score for the Black Pearl is... It's a 7.602. Alright, off to a nice start here in freestyle. We've seen some good runs, and unfortunately we've seen some tough breaks like that run from Cole Vennard right there. Some drivers, though, have really set the bar, particularly Mike Pagliarulo and Ryan Anderson. They've really set the bar for the rest of this competition, so we'll see what can happen here as we still have a good, I don't know, half a dozen drivers left to go. Nope, not half a dozen. We have almost a full dozen. We have 9 drivers left. So still a lot of freestyle to come here. And coming up next, one of the best freestylers in the sport. He is a world champion in this competition. Please welcome Colt Stevens, Thunder Roris. Like I was just saying, Colt is one of the best in this competition. So let's see what he can do. He's definitely going to be one of the more aggressive drivers tonight, and starting off like that without any hesitation, definitely proving my point. He's just got to be aggressive. All these drivers do. That's great air. So Colt Stevens very clearly understanding what it's going to take tonight with how high that bar has been set. Colt Stevens and the Thunder Roris. Oh no! Okay, wait, maybe not. Not oh no? Okay, he's got a cool save. I take it back. So Colt Stevens and the Thunder Roris pulls out a great maneuver right there. Oh man. Getting this turned back around now. Let's see what else he can do. Only 50 seconds in. I already thought that was a good 2 minutes. He's had so much in this run. Nothing's really been missing. I mean, he's had just about all the momentum and air you could ask for, which for the first half of a run is all you really need. Might be Morgan backflip time for the Thunderosaurus. It is Morgan backflip time. He's going to go over. He's going to save it, though, so another great save tonight. That's what we need to see. Colt Stevens, Thunderosaurus, oh man. Now getting ragged edge with it. This is great. What else can he do? He's got about 30 seconds left. Whoa. Great cross thread goes up, over. And that is not being saved. Let's hear it for Colt Stevens and the Thunderosaurus. So a great run. It was a little short-lived, but it was still pretty cool while it lasted. I mean, I saw a lot of great momentum and air, particularly. There was some wow moment, but overall, great run. Alright, sorry. Score to beat is Ryan Anderson, who was able to put down a 9.571. That score tonight for the Thunderosaurus is... It's going to be an 8.681. It's not going to put him in that top spot tonight. Coming up next, one of the most technically in tune drivers in the entire sport. Please welcome Blake Granger, Monster Mutt Dalmatian. Blake, one of the best right now. And in fact, he is a world champion when it comes to this competition. Let's see if he can live up to that title. It started with a technical move, something a little different than what you are used to seeing here in freestyle. Especially the rest of this event. We have not seen anyone do this approach yet. So Blake trying to show off all aspects of his driving in freestyle. Kicks it off with that great technical move. Now he's got that hood up in his face. And he's got a save right off the bat. So a lot of things happening very quickly for the Monster Mutt Dalmatian, Blake Granger. Getting this turned around. So Blake, let's take a look in the cab with that hood in the way. Yeah, that's definitely going to make this a little bit more complicated for him. But he's doing a good job at handling it thus far. And he's still got about 80 seconds left. So it's been an interesting start to the run. Definitely that technical moves helped him out. And this a good amount of air as well. I think these drivers are just going to need such crazy wow moments just to come out of nowhere if they want to match what Ryan Anderson was able to put down. And that's really hard to do because a lot of that's just you being at the mercy of your truck. But Blake's giving it his all right now. It's not from a lack of trying. It's just that his truck is too well in tune. Nicely done. Oh, he's going up and over. Oh, this is a huge crash for the Monster Mutt Dalmatian. He somehow is going to land back on all fours. Will he be able to refire? I think this is going to come down to if that truck's broken, but I don't think it is. Let's see. No breakages in sight for Monster Mutt Dalmatian. Blake is able to refire this. Time will resume on his next hit. What can he do? Time resumes for Monster Mutt Dalmatian. A great run we have seen so far. What else can he do? He can get technical on one wheel. He can save it in reverse. Maybe he can. No, he cannot. That's going to do it for Blake Granger, Monster Mutt Dalmatian. So an all-out freestyle. He did not hold anything back. He kept that truck going all out for the entirety of that run. Unfortunately, it's going to come to a bit of an early ending. Regardless, though, I think that was a pretty fun one to watch. Will it be enough? That score to beat is a big one. It's a 9.571 for Ryan Anderson. That score for Monster Mutt Dalmatian is... it's a 9.015, only going to be enough for second place. Alright, well, coming up next, this driver was intended to come out here in freestyle a little bit earlier, but as you know, he ran into some random truck problems that were holding him back, so we let him go back to the pits, fix it up. Now he's ready to go. John Zimmer Jr., Terminal Velocity. So John Zimmer Jr., one of the best in the business. And that's no surprise because he got the first overall win of the series this year, but he lost it pretty quick. So he has some really big work to do right now to try to make back up those points that he missed out on. This is a good way to start, though. A big technical move, combos it up. If only he looked like this in the actual skills challenge competition. So a great start to the run. Oh no. Wow, he is going really aggressive right out the get-go here, but that's what he needs to do. He's lost out on a lot of points tonight, which is why he's coming out here so early in freestyle. He's dropped down in the series placements quite a lot. So let's see what he can do here in freestyle. Oh yeah, I'm loving the air for the terminal velocity. Oh no. Who am I kidding with that? Oh no, John Zimmer Jr. has this truck dialed in and under control. He's not going to let a little thing like that stop him. He is going to have to let this stop him, though. That truck breaks a wheel, goes up and over, and unfortunately, a spectacular run to be for the terminal velocity. It's going to come to a very early end. John Zimmer Jr. just cannot break this bad luck streak he's been having tonight. And unfortunately, that's going to do it. Now, we are over halfway into freestyle at this point in time. That was run number 10, which means we're only going to have 6 more to go. So we are starting to near the end of the event. With that being said, I expect the bar to be higher than ever, and the competition to be higher than ever as well. So, rough luck there for the Mayhem, sorry, for the terminal velocity, ending out that run. Score to beat, 9.571. But that score tonight for John Zimmer Jr. is... it's going to be a 7.266. 7.266. Not enough for that top spot. Like I was just saying, we only have 6 drivers. Yeah, 6 drivers left to go here in freestyle. This is where I really expect everyone to start going all out as if there's nothing to lose. And coming up next, if any team knows about going all out, it's this one. It's Chris Koehler and Mayhem. Chris Koehler's year here on the BeamNG circuit has been off to a bit of a slow start, but we'll see if he can start to pick it back up here shortly. He doesn't sit in a bad spot right now. In fact, he is in the top 6, which is why he's coming out so late in freestyle. He's just got to keep adding on those points so he doesn't start to fall down. I'll say he's off to a nice start right now. So Chris Koehler and the Mayhem, man, he has one of the craziest reputations of Monster Jam in recent years. Unfortunately, though, most of that came from closer to 2023 and 2024. The 2025 season for him did not go all that great, but he does have the opportunity now to make the 2026 year, or season, sorry, one to remember. So let's see what he can do. He's off to a nice start, I will say that. Looking a little bit lost right now. I want to see a little bit more, not necessarily knowledge, but I want to see more confidence. That's the word I'm looking for. in this run. I want him to look like he's driving with an intention. Right now, he's looking like he doesn't really know what he wants to do for each hit. Which, although that is a good way to get some cool moments in a run, you gotta have some confidence. So Chris Koehler, looks like it might be Morgan & Morgan backflip time. Nails it, throws in a moonwalk. Up into third gear. Now he's driving in high gear. Let's see what he can do. Oh, no. Well, that's not what he wanted to do. Chris Koehler in the mayhem. Up and over. Didn't even have a chance to save that because it just landed straight on the roof. Unfortunately, sometimes that's just the way it goes, but I know Chris Koehler wanted to do more than that, especially now that he started doing well in points, and an early ending like that, it's got to be rough, but at the same time, it wasn't the worst run we've seen. He was able to get a backflip in, he was able to keep the big air going all throughout. It was definitely not a bad run. It just came to a bit of an abrupt stop, which I don't think is really what he was looking for, obviously, so let's see if there's any fan scores that are going to come in for the mayhem. Keep in mind that score to beat still belongs to Ryan Anderson with a 9.571. That score for Chris Koehler. Yeah, the mayhem is... it's an 8.705. Not enough for that top spot, but I think that is currently enough for 4th place, which is not bad for Chris Koehler. Alright, only 5 left to go, nearing the end of the event. Coming up next, Tim Hall Jr., Jurassic Attack. Tim started off this night really well by taking home 2nd place in racing, but skills didn't go exactly how he wanted it to, so now he's got some work to do here in freestyle to try to make up those points he lost. Let's see if he can do it. He is still sitting in the top 5 in the series standings, but definitely not quite as high up as he was before. Alright, already throwing in a nice save, though. That's what you like to see. Tim Hall Jr., Jurassic Attack. Already driving pretty confidently. I'm liking these little cross threads he's throwing. And not really cross threads, but it's kind of like a cross thread, but more of just a general transfer. It's working really well for him. So good air, pretty good momentum so far. Nothing too crazy yet, though. Let's see, he's going into first person here to show off what this looks like for the drivers to you fans. Oh. Sounds like his transmission slipped out for a second right there. Goes in for the backflip. Lands it. Nicely done by Tim Hall Jr. You got 50 seconds left to go now. Hopefully that transmission stops acting up on him, because I'm sure he's on track to put down a great freestyle right now if it does that. So, great air, man. This is something Tim Hall Jr. is not afraid to do. Unfortunately, that's going to do it. No saving that. Let's hear it for Jurassic Attack. Man, these drivers got to start being a little bit more careful with that. We have seen, I think, 4 drivers end with that exact same crash. So, I don't know. I mean, it's a cool little transfer cross thread thing, but if it's gonna do more harm than good, it's got to be avoided. And so far, for a lot of these drivers, it's looking like that's been the case. I don't know. Still a very, very nice run for the Jurassic Attack, but that early ending is definitely going to come back to bite him a little bit in the score. Speaking of scores, that score to beat belongs to Ryan Anderson with a 9.571. That score for the Jurassic Attack is going to be an 8.581. And an 8.581. It's not going to put him in the top spot. Only 4 drivers left to go, but coming up next, one of the best freestylers in the business right now. Please welcome Bari Musawwir, Zombie. It's kind of a surprise to me that Bari has yet to actually win a world championship. He's been at this for so long. He's been consistent for so long. He just hasn't been able to get it done quite yet. But if it were going to be any competition, I think it would be this one because he is sure one heck of a freestyler. Starting off with some great air. Definitely proving that to us. Oh, he's going to need a big save right off the bat, and he's going to get a big save right off the bat. So nicely done by Bari Musawwir. Not wasting a second tonight in freestyle, which is what we need to see if he wants to try to top Ryan Anderson's run. It's really going to take some great driving to do that, but Bari is really clearly understanding that. He's doing a great job. Oh, man. A tough landing, but he's going to land it all right. So let's see what else he can do here. That truck is looking a little bit funky. We're going to have to pause this run, take a look at that, make sure everything's okay. Oh, that's going to do it. Let's hear it for Bari Musawwir. You take a look at that rear end. Those rear shock towers completely died, exploded. That's going to do it. You know, that landing, I was looking at it and I was like, man, that looks like it's going to be rough. It's not going to be good for him. And, well, it's going to be exactly that. It's going to break those shocks pretty badly. And there's just no coming back from 2 full shock towers being completely decimated like that. So that score to beat, 9.571. And the score tonight for Zombie is a 5.8. 2-1. It's not going to put him in the top spot. Bari Musawwir. Only 3 drivers left to go. Coming up next, looking for his first overall of the year, Zach Garner, Wild Side. Take a ride on the Wild Side with Zach Garner, one of the best freestylers in current day Monster Jam. And he's kicking it off with maybe the biggest air of the night. The only other driver with air that big is your current freestyle leader. So Zach is clearly sending a message right now saying, Ryan, I'm coming for you. As he kicks off his run with the biggest air I have ever seen. And he follows it up with some more huge air. So Zach Garner off to a very aggressive start. He's driving like he wants to not only win freestyle, but grab that overall event championship in the process. So very nice run so far for Zach Garner and the Wild Side. Making sure to fit in a lot of different factors, but air and momentum, definitely the strongest one. I don't think he's slowed down once in this run. I mean, 1 in the gas, 1 in the grave. That's kind of a saying for Team Gravedigger, but right now that's a saying for Team Zach Garner. He's going to need a big save as well, but what's a big save to Zach Garner? That's just nothing but a casual Tuesday. That was awesome save by the Wild Side. What else can Zach do? More extreme air. Man, so Zach is really laying it all on the line in this freestyle run. Goes in for that risky send that's taken out quite a few drivers. It's not going to take out Zach Garner, though. He is clearly too dialed in to that truck right now for that to stop him. Goes in for the backflip. Nails it. Zach Garner, he is driving like a freestyle winner right now. Oh, man. A huge moment for the Wild Side. He's just going to start cross-threading this thing now. This is a great run we are seeing. What else can Zach Garner do? Sounds like he just lost part of the transmission. I don't know if I'm crazy. I'm not hearing second gear coming through. He's going to go up. He's going to go over. Goes in for the save. Oh, man. What a run for Zach Garner and the Wild Side. Well, he chose the right time to flip that thing up and over because that was right at the end of the clock. What a spectacular freestyle run by Zach Garner. He fit every single aspect you could ever ask for of a Monster Jam freestyle run into those 2 short but very jam-packed minutes. That was spectacular stuff for Zach Garner. Now, is it going to be enough is the question. I mean, Ryan had such a crazy run, but Zach had so much consistency. Let's see, score to beat, 9.571. The score for Wild Side is to 9.320. It's going to put Zach Garner in second place. Coming up next, brother of the driver currently leading the competition. Can he take it away? It's Weston Anderson, Fog Hog. Weston Anderson coming out here with a lot of speed. He's getting started right away. Doesn't have a second to waste right now. Oh, he's going huge. So Weston, just like Zach, starts off very aggressive. He might be done already. No, he's not. This is Weston Anderson. Weston Anderson and done in the same sentence. That doesn't happen unless he blows a motor. And with a crew like he has, that's not a common thing to see for the Bog Hog. So Weston Anderson, man, a spectacular start to the run so far. Huge air. He's definitely on track to maybe be able to dethrone his brother. But again, Ryan had like 8 crazy wow moments in his run. It's practically impossible to get more than that. So Weston's really got to go for something unseen here. He is your last week's freestyle winner. Oh, it's not going to be a repeat this week. Bog Hog is going to go over, and that's going to do it for Weston Anderson. But look at that, though. He put it right in the parking spot. Nice parking jog, Weston, but I don't think you can park like that. Only going to fill 59 seconds, which is unfortunate because he had an awesome run cooking up right there. But you can't win them all. Score to beat 9.571. The score for Bog Hog is a 7.158. Well, fans, there's only one driver left to go. But this isn't just any driver. He's your current season points leader and overall points leader. He's looking to take home a big win tonight, following up his two-wheel skills win. Please welcome Tyler Menninga, Gravedigger. Your last driver of the night. Tyler had the first freestyle win of the season. Can he make it too? That's going to be his goal. But Ryan is looking untouchable right now. Can Tyler do it? Let's find out. He's going to start off just like Weston did with some great air. That's what we really need to see. Yeah, great technical move as well. Oh! Oh, man! Well, there's no more black and green wrecking machine way to kick off the freestyle run than that. Tyler just did one of the craziest saves ever right at the start of his run. Oh, man. That's a tough, tough break for Tyler. He came out here not only leading the series, but leading the overall. I know he wanted to leave this event getting to say that he was an overall event winner, but he's going to get a DNF in freestyle. That's going to take away any chance of him getting to say that tonight. A tough, tough break for Tyler. I know he wanted to come out here and drive harder than that, but sometimes you got to push that truck too hard, and it's going to come back to bite you. So Tyler is only going to get 1 point tonight in freestyle. What a tough break. Well, now comes the task of adding up all of these different scores from tonight and seeing who not only the overall event champion is, but who the season points leader is. Because we saw a lot of things change in terms of points over the course of that freestyle competition. A lot of drivers get shifted around and where they're going to be sitting here leaving this event. I will say that was an absolutely great show. Lots of action. And don't forget, we still have an encore coming up, but I'm really just trying to find out what the points are looking like right now because they are going to be all mixed up tonight after that competition. Whoops. Made a little mistake here in my scores. Alright, this is going to be 8. Yes. Sorry. I'm trying to keep track of all these points as accurately as possible because there's a lot to track here in terms of overalls and chases and whatever else. So, got a lot to look at here. I want to make sure everything's as accurate as can be. Alright. Well, I know who the overall event champion is. I'm pretty confident at least. So, Tyler only gets 1 point in freestyle. That's really gonna, it's not gonna take away his lead, but it's gonna shorten his lead from 10 points back down to only 6 points. So that's gonna be hurting Tyler there after he was having a super unstoppable great night. Actually, Tyler just got knocked out of the series lead, but I'll talk about that in 1 second. Tyler has been dethroned. We have a new series leader from his absolutely crazy freestyle score. But again, we'll get to that in 1 second here. I'm just trying to finish adding up all the different points for all these different competitors after this crazy event tonight. Oh man, some drivers did not have the best day. Yeah, Bryce Kenny is the only driver below 65 points, or sorry, below 61 points, and he's actually below 50 points. So Bryce is having an awful year. Anyway, back on topic here. Your new season leader by taking second in freestyle and your overall event champion getting a total of 41 points is Zach Garner in Wildside. He came out of nowhere tonight. I mean, let me see where he was sitting coming into this show, because I know it wasn't the lead or anything too close to it. Let's see, coming into this show, Zach was sitting in 6th place, and now he just shot himself all the way up to the lead. Tyler falls to 2nd and is now 1 point behind. So what a huge moment for Zach Garner, making himself known this season. That is awesome. So Zach Garner wins the overall. Ryan Anderson wins freestyle. But oh man, we're not done with Ryan yet. Fans, if you're new here, you might not know what's about to happen, but if this isn't your first show on this channel, you should know what's coming up. Ryan Anderson is celebrating a very, very big anniversary this year. 15 years of having his own Monster Jam truck. Well, he wouldn't want to go out without a bang tonight. He might have just won freestyle, but he's not done yet. Fans, please welcome to the track for your encore, Ryan Anderson. Let's see what he can do. He's done this at every show so far, and he has made it look absolutely spectacular in all of them. Look at that truck go. Oh, he's going to go straight for it. Oh, no. He's been clearing that truck all year. It looks like tonight, not going to quite be able to clear it right there, but he's definitely going to go up and over the truck. Clips it, going over it, but the real story here is Ryan Anderson just jumped over Tyler's truck. That was awesome. And now he's just got as much time as this truck will allow him to run for to just burn it down. That's what I love about watching these encores. There's no time limits or anything. These drivers can just go out there. Oh, there he goes. He's going to go for it again, and this time he's going to be a little bit more successful. Throws it into reverse. What? Oh, no. Oh, yeah. He just cleared Gravedigger in reverse. He's going to crash a little bit hard. He's not done yet. This is Ryan. He's going to refire that truck without even asking the officials. He's just going to go at it right now. Trying to get technical in any ways that he can. This is great, though. This encore is almost as good as Ryan's winning freestyle tonight was. He's just going out here and burning it down. Oh, alright, his rear steer is... Okay, no, never mind his back. His rear steer got stuck turning left for a second. Looks like he's going to regain control of it. He's just going crazy right now. This is great for Ryan. You know, this anniversary tour I think is going to be a good way for Ryan to really start driving like himself again. Because he just has as much time as he wants to be the star of the show in these encores, and that's what makes him so cool. He's gonna go for a cross thread, trying to save it. That truck is absolutely destroyed. The whole front end is off. Shock tower is broken. What a great run by the son of a digger, and what a great event we just saw, fans. I hope you all enjoyed. That was an awesome show. Some of the best runs of the year. Zach Garner picks up his first overall, and the season